Hello friends, my name is Jackie. I'm going to show you very quickly how to make this gorgeous baby blanket. It's a very easy, I would say beginner friendly blanket. I'll put the measurements up for you because I can't fit it in the frame, but it's a very easy blanket. I'm sure you could do it. I'm all about shortcuts, so if you are a true beginner and you're not sure how to crochet yet, this probably is not going to be the video for you because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on technique. I just want to show you how to create this stripe blanket very quickly. I'm just going to go over the basic stitches and the measurements, and then you can run with your own creativity and make this blanket yourself. I'll go over the materials that are needed, but this is it. It's only 2 stitches, half double crochet and extended half double crochet. And you can use a variety of colors. I used 5 colors, but 6 if you include the ivory that is between every color here. There's a total of 66 rows in this blanket. Every row or every color change I did twice, like 2 rows. So there's 66 rows. The total measurements for this blanket is 38 by 29.5 inches. And yeah, you can get it done in a couple of days. I spent a couple of weeks doing it only because I only did a couple rows at a time. I do have a full-time job outside of this. But it is very easy and you don't have to really focus. You can do this while watching TV, listening to a podcast, whatever, on the go. Very simple. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you the materials that you need. The crochet hook, that I'm using is by Tulip. It's a Tulip Etimo, I believe, and it's a 6mm hook. These hooks are by far my favorite. I would say my second favorite would probably be the Clover Amour. But these hooks are very lightweight. They're comfortable in the hand, and the tips of these are so incredibly smooth. I haven't used a crochet hook this smooth, with the exception of maybe the Furls. What is it? The Odyssey? I think that was it. I don't know. The one that was discontinued, the nickel one. It's just as smooth as that, but it's a lot lighter weight. So these are Tulip crochet hooks. I bought it online. I haven't seen them in any stores. You're going to need a darning needle to sew in the many ends. There are a lot of ends, but only on one side of the blanket because you're repeating every row twice. And then of course, a pair of scissors. All right, so for this tutorial, like I said, I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to show you the basics, how to construct the blanket, and then you can run with your own creativity. So I just have a couple of colors here that I used in the blanket, like a sage green and then like a rusty rose color. I'm not going to use the white only because the color isn't showing up very well, or it starts to fade into blur when I'm filming. So that's why I chose colors instead of the white. So I'm just gonna start with the green, and let's just pretend that this is my base color, because you're gonna start with your base color and do 2 rows. All right, so let's start with a, start with a slip knot. Doesn't wanna work for me. All right, and the base chain, I don't know the exact numbers. Like I said, I went by measurements. So you're gonna chain until you get 38 inches. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna make a few chains here. It really doesn't matter if you do even or odd numbers. Just get to the length that you like. All right, once you do that chain, then in your second chain from the hook, I'm going to flip over to the back so that I'm using the back loops here. I am going to do a half double crochet in that second chain from the hook. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all 3. That is your half double crochet. We're going to half double crochet until the end of the row. So this blanket, like I was saying, it can be done relatively quickly because when you're doing the color rows or the stripes, I'm doing half double crochets, and then for my base color I'm doing extended half double crochets. The extended half double crochets take a little bit longer than the half double crochet stitches, so you can kind of go through your half double crochet stitches or those rows a lot faster, you'll see. So that's one of the reasons I like this blanket. All right, so I got to the end of the row, and your first row is just half double crochets. Okay, let me get some more yarn here. Oops. Okay, so after your first row, which is just half double crochet, you're going to chain 2, rotate your work, and then you're going to do the extended half double crochet, and we're going to insert the hook between the bars here. So your excuse me, your regular stitch is going to be right here at the top, that V up here. We're going to instead go through like on the side between the bars here. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first loop only, and then yarn over and pull through the remaining 3 loops on your hook. We're going to go to the next the next stitch, and we're going to insert here between the stitches here. So here's your regular stitch here, and then you're going to go to the side and go between the 2 bars. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through the first one, and then pull through the remaining 3. And we're going to do that until we get to the end of the row. That is your extended half double crochet. Okay, and just remember, in this tutorial, green is going to be my base color and the pink is going to be one of my accent colors. So the beauty of this, you can really make it any size you'd like. This is just what your repeats are. You can use as many colors as you like. You can make it solid, it really doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to get to the last stitch here. Yarn over, insert. This time, well, you can either insert into the actual stitch itself at the end, or you can do what we've been doing and go between that bar here and the turning chain that we had here. So I am going to, let's stick with what we're doing and just go through that turning chain. Okay, actually I'm not going to finish this stitch because I'm going to switch colors. So I went through the first loop and then I'm going to switch colors. Just lay that on top. Pull through, tighten, tighten. All right, and then for this row, first I'm going to secure that color change, and then I'm going to chain 1. All right, rotate your work, and I'm cutting my yarn after every color change, and then sewing in the ends at the end of the project, or you can make tassels with that end. It's really up to you. You can pull the base color up along the side and that will create floats in your blanket. You could do that. Some people are okay with floats, some people are not. It's totally up to you. If you do the floats, you can add a border to hide them, and then it won't be visible at all. All right, so this is the 3rd row that we're doing. So we did the first row, which is just half double crochets. Our second row are extended half double crochets. And now that we're using one of the accent colors, we're just going to do half double crochets. And we're also going to go between the first and the second stitch once again. All right, so we're not going into the top, we're going in between. And we'll just do half double crochets across the row. This part is super quick, very quick, very easy. I absolutely love when I came to an accent color because these rows went by very quickly. So we're just gonna half double crochet all the way across the row. These colors actually look really cute together as well. The sage green and like the powder pink or dusty rose. They look really good. All right, so here's my final stitch. There's a knot in my yarn, so let me get that out. Pull some more. Okay, at the end of your half double crochet row, we're just going to chain one and rotate, and then repeat that again. So half double crochet and go across the row. And then at the end of this row, before switching to the base color, I'll show you what the floats will look like if you just want to pull up your color so that you don't have the ends. You can totally do that. Okay, and before, I'm not going to finish this instead. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the green. So make sure that these ends are coming towards the front of your work. And we're just going to pull up the green and pull that through instead of pulling through the pink. So we did the first part of the stitch at the end, and we're going to pull up the green, and that's going to create that little float here on the back. All right, and then secure by chaining one, and then chain again for height. And now we're going to start our extended half double crochet row again. So rotate your work. At this point, we can fasten off the pink. I mean, if you want to pull up the pink, you could, but you're going to have multiple ends of your color, so I'm just going to fasten off. All right, there is that float there. If you add a border, it will hide it. So we're going to go back to the extended half double crochet row, and we're going to go into this first space right in here. All right. There. And follow that all the way to the end. I think these stitches look really good together, and I made 2 blankets so far using this combination of stitches, and I will show you what they look like just to give you a little inspiration. When it comes to color choices, I get a lot of my color choice ideas from the internet, of course. Pinterest, probably my favorite. There's a lot of yarn lines now that are releasing colors that look well together, no matter what color combination you choose. Or you can also use AI. AI can help you choose colors for your blankets, and it's actually really quite helpful. All right, so maybe I will make a tutorial on how to use AI for choosing colors for your crochet blankets. All right, so we got to the end. We're going to rotate, pull some more yarn here. Let's get this out of the way. And we're going to do our second row of extended half double crochets. Every row is repeated twice. As I mentioned before, there's a total of 66 rows for like a stroller size blanket. If you want to make a larger blanket, just keep going with the color changes. And you can always look up the standard size for different size blankets. So like a standard baby blanket, lap blanket, stroller blanket, car seat blanket. All of this stuff is found on the internet. All right, so I'm getting here to the end, and then I will show you what it looks like and how to fasten off and how to finish it. Okay, so I'm going to fasten off here. For the actual finished blanket, what I do is I end with a half double crochet. Whoops, this doesn't want to, I cut it just a little too soon. All right, I'm just going to fasten off here. There we go. All right, so for the actual closing of the blanket, I'm going to end with a half double crochet row just as I started here, so that the ends are symmetrical. Okay, so these, just going through this real quick, this is a half double crochet row. Row 2 is an extended half double crochet row. Then we switched over to our color, and we have 2 half double crochet rows, and then we have 2 of the extended half double crochet rows. And that's all you're doing. That's what your repeat is going to be for the rest of the blanket. So you would just switch colors here, and you would do 2 half double crochet rows in the color. Then once you switch back to your base, you would do extended half double crochets, and you do 2 rows for that. All right, so here's another swatch that I had in the white and pink. So it's a half double crochet row, extended half double crochet, 2 half double crochet rows, 2 extended half double crochet rows, and you'll repeat that, 2 half double crochet, 2 extended half double crochet, and then to complete the end of your blanket, you're going to do just a half double crochet in your base color. All right, and this is what you will end up with. It's very, very pretty. The extended half double crochets kind of give you this, it's almost like a little bit of a raised line here in the center, which is really, really nice. I'm sorry, on the white here. These are the extended half double crochets, and there's a little more texture here in the center rows of the white. Now when you get to the ends, there are going to be a lot of ends. Look at that. I know, don't be scared by this. You can turn these into tassels by tying a knot in the end like that, and then just having it hang, or you can sew them in, or like I said, you could do the floats and then add a border. There's so many different ways of finishing this without having to trim all of the ends. I am actually going to end up sewing these in, I believe. I think I'm going to sew them in because I just like a very clean, symmetrical blanket. That's just my personal preference. So I'm going to end up sewing them in. So I'll just pop on a movie or something and do that. I don't really mind sewing in ends. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's straightforward and easy for you. There's really not too much thinking that has to be done with this blanket. It's very cute, very pretty, very soft. If you're interested in the yarn, please let me know in the comments, and I will let you know which yarn I used. And then please show me, if you make this blanket, please show me what you made, what color choices that you made. All right, like I said, I'm kind of new to YouTube. I don't have many videos yet, but I hope to produce some more. And if you do like this content, I would love to hear your feedback, or you could just hit the like button. All right, thank you. Happy crocheting, and hopefully I will see you soon.